Hello everyone, Benair back again today with another Legends of Runtara champion reveal. And today, it's a very special day because as you can see on the screen, they have added my boy Pantheon to the game. Now, I knew yesterday, regrettably, if you've watched my Canon video, I knew that Targon, though I try to keep myself spoiler free, I knew that Targon champion was coming today. I knew that. But I had no idea that Pantheon was going to be added. I didn't see any indication of Pantheon, like support cards in the game already, so this came as a complete surprise. And I'm just super happy to share this moment with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's hope they did my boy right. 3, 2, 1, go.
By my spear, the gods will know war.
Scars give him strength.
Today we say enough.
Okay, he is a 4-mana, 4/2 Overwhelm Barrier Metapack symbol. I do not know what that is. You've targeted allies in 5 different rounds to level up. Mono Targon, of course. Okay, well, I don't know what that new keyword is. I have not seen that yet. But as for his level up condition, it's a little slow, it seems. It seems a little slow because turn 1 you play a unit, you're not going to be able to target it. Turn 2 you play another unit, you could target a unit. Even if you were trying to level him up as fast as possible, I just don't see how you could level him up before turn 6 reasonably. But we'll see. Maybe that keyword targets allies, but for now he seems to have a slightly difficult level up condition, but his keywords are good. Keywords are good. But we'll see. Okay, Faded. Alright, the first new keyword, Faded. The first time each round an ally targets me, grant me +1/+1. Okay, so it's all about self-buff. Let's go. The Sage Seeker's not bad either. Ooh. Wait. What's that? Shield Vault, 2-mana slow. Grant an ally +1/+1 and stun an enemy. Okay.
We fall as light upon darkness.
Yeah, they're on turn 5
Bleed,
now.
we must! Onwards! Lock shields!
Okay.
The power of the immortal sun.
Immortality is a lie. This I know. Don't worry.
Yes, Tarek!
All must die.
Do not stand against me.
We face death together.
Oh, wow, yeah. Okay. Alright. And now Tarek will self-buff the other guy, causing him to level up. Please be a good level up animation.
Protect all. Are you ready to destroy a demon? Oracle.
I'm ready to light the way, Atreus.
I will make the gods remember this day!
I'm sorry. Did they just show my boy going into high orbit to satellite drop on some poor unsuspecting fool? Oh, let's watch that again.
A demon, Oracle.
I'm ready to light the way, Atreus.
I will make the gods remember this day!
Okay. Well, top tier. I appreciate that. Alright, Pantheon. 4-mana, 5/3, Overwhelm, Barrier, Faded. When I'm summoned or level up, grant me a random keyword for each round you've targeted allies this game? But his level up condition is you had to have target during 5 different rounds, which means he's an overwhelm, barrier, faded, and then add 5 other random keywords minimum. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, like, hello, my name is Pantheon. I'm an 11/7 quick attack, overwhelm, spell shield, faded, life steal, fearsome regenerator. Kindly go die now. Like, what?
Atreus, let us pull our enemies apart.
I do not fight for you, creature.
What
Stand
was
resolute.
that?
There is nowhere left to go but up.
Face my shield.
Each life a rare jewel, worth fighting for, worth dying for. We will shake the heavens without victory.
Well done, Riot Games. That level up animation, though. God. Oh, I loved it. Anyway, so we have Pantheon's level 1 and level 2 form here. We also have 3 mana burst spell. We stand together. Give 2 allies +1/+2 this round. We saw that. Really good in a faded deck because that actually, you know, it doesn't say it, but it actually reads 3 mana. Give 2 allies +1/+2 and then grant them +1/+1. It's really good. Against the odds, 3 mana focus speed. If your opponent has more units than you, grant an ally +1/+1 for each extra unit they have. So, it's 3 mana for +5/+5. If your opponent has a completely stacked board and you have 1 unit. If you have 3 and they have 4, it's only +1/+1. I'm not a big fan of this card. Like, I know it can be 3 mana for +5/+5, but if your opponent has more units than you, grant a single ally +1/+1 for each extra unit they have. Yeah, I didn't misread it this time like Kinnon's signature spell yesterday. No, I just not a big fan of that, but okay. 2 mana Shield Vault. Grant an ally +1/+1 and stun an enemy. This I do like. Because if you're playing a faded deck, then that's 2 mana for stun any enemy you want. And give +2/+2 to something for 2 mana. That's not bad at all. We have Blinded Mystic, which is a 4 mana 3/2. Play, grant an ally +1/+1, and silence an enemy follower. That's a permanent silence, too. I like this card. I like this card a lot. It's a buff. It triggers your Pantheon. And it makes it where an enemy follower doesn't get to do nothing. Like, I know that there are certain cards in the game that the community think are just trash tier because they don't hit champions. And some of them are justified. Some of them are. But this guy has a positive effect and a debuff. And so what? It doesn't hit champions. That means there's 6 cards in the enemy deck it doesn't work against. I like this. I like the Blinded Mystic. And this creature, which we saw and had special animation, Camphor, the Doubt, 6 mana, 5/4. When I'm summoned, if you've targeted ally 6+ times this game, grant me Spell Shield, Overwhelm, and Challenger. Spell Shield, Overwhelm, and Challenger. That's a little nutty. It reminds me of the Under Titan from Shurima. The Under Titan is the creature that if it has 8+ attack, it gets Spell Shield, Overwhelm. Spell Shield and Overwhelm, I believe, is what it gets. This is 6 mana. If you're playing a Pantheon deck, I see no reason that this card doesn't just become a 6-mana 5/4 Spell Shield Overwhelm Challenger. Which is pretty good in my book, especially in a deck full of self-buffs. I like this. I like Camphor. Camphor, the Doubt, great card. Then we have the Freed Colossus, which is a 5-mana 4/5. When I'm summoned or attack, create a gem in hand. I love that. That's great gem support. I mean, you could argue you could just run the Billy Goat, the 3/2 that makes a gem, but I think in a Pantheon deck that this Freed Colossus might be better. But we'll see. Then we have Ilua? I have no idea how to pronounce her name. Or is it a he? Hard to tell. I don't know how to pronounce their name. 3 mana, 3/3. Play. Give an ally Spell Shield and Overwhelm this round. That's really good. That's pretty good. It's like an... it's just good. It's a good push finish late game. Like, late game, you can drop this on your buffed Pantheon, and not only does it give it... Well, it already has Overwhelm, I know, but you can give it Spell Shield, if nothing else. Instantly. Start a round, boom, Spell Shield. No chance to respond because it's not a skill. It doesn't have the little skill symbol. And then we have the Saga Seeker, which is a 1 mana, 1/2 Fated. I'm not seeing a lot of Fated units. I was hoping to see more. Like, I would have loved it if there was a lot more Fated units, so you're always triggering that permanent buff. Because, like, We Stand Together is perfectly fine. It's perfectly okay, I should say, if you have a bunch of Fated units on the field. But if you don't, a little more mediocre. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not as awesome as I thought it would be. But I haven't checked Mobalytics yet. Let's go head over there and see what it is. Give a like to the video. Well done, Riot Games. I like the Pantheon. Alright. So, we have Pantheon Shield Vault. Alright. No, I do not care. We have Pantheon Shield Vault is his champ spell, which is the grant +1 and stun an enemy. Love that. This is great. We have the Camphor, the Sage Seeker, and here are the new cards. Only the one? Only one new card. It wasn't shown in the video. It looks like it. Okay. It's a dragon, so that's cool. We got Wounded White Flame, which is a 2/4 Fury Faded for 3. Ooh. I like that. That's amazing. Like, I want you to imagine turn 3, say, turn 1 you dropped the Saga Seeker, turn 2 you pass, turn 3 you drop this. If you swing with this card, opponent blocks it with a 4/4. Let's just say, like, they drop a 4, or they block, they buff, yeah, and they block with a 4/4, and you drop 8, then you go Pale Cascade, Faded trigger, so that's +2/+2, which suddenly your dragon becomes a 4/6. It kills the enemy unit, giving it another +1/+1 permanently, like, instant max 3-of. It's a 3-of, like, all the copies, please and thank you, of this dragon. So this is the Pantheon support we got. I like it. I think it's really good. And I think that the way they demonstrate in the video is right on target for what this deck's going to want to do. It is going to be Pantheon and Tark, and you're going to put them together, and it's going to be amazing. Like, Tark not only just synergizes really well with Pantheon's Faded keyword and several of the other units, but the where'd they go? The Camphor, the Doubt, just Tark instantly makes sure that this condition is done. Add in a little bit of gem support here and there so that you can constantly target your allies with cheap spells. And I like this. This looks really good. And Pantheon, no joke, looks a little nutty. Like, he doesn't level up, like, on curve. That's fine. As long as you stay active turn 5 or turn 6, you drop him, he levels up, and he becomes a 5/3 with 8 keywords. Minimum. And even if he's dealt with, as the game goes on, you could drop him. He's a 4 mana The Arsenal. Like, hold up. Hold on 1 second. I'm loading. This guy. He's like this guy, but better. In a way. Like, the Arsenal is 8 mana for an 8/6, and yeah, Pantheon's a 5/3, lower stats. Who cares? He's cheaper, and his condition in its own way is easier to meet. Like, what do you do against a Pantheon? What do you do against a minimum 5/3 elusive overwhelm barrier fated first strike lifesteal regenerator? Fearsome. That's 8. What do you do against that? You die. Because it's minimally going to be a 5/3. Because every time you target him with something, he's going to get a permanent +1/+1. First time each round. But if you play your Pantheon on turn 4 and he sticks for just a couple turns, he's going to be closer to like... He's going to be like a 9/7. It's a little nutty. Like, he's really nutty, actually. No, I love this. I love this design. I love the cards. In particular, Pantheon, 10 out of 10. I love the artwork. I love the design. I love the voice acting. And let's watch it again. But hold up, where is it? Here we go. Let's watch this glorious level up animation again.
I will make the gods remember this day!
Oh, and the soundtrack. I love it so much. I love Pantheon's theme so much. But no. 10 out of 10 on Pantheon. Sorry. I know I keep coming back to him. I keep getting distracted by the cool factor. But he's just so cool. But no, Pantheon, I think, is actually a 10 out of 10. Shield Vault, I think, is an amazing card as well. I think Camp 4 is actually really good. I think that consistently this will be dropped down as a 6 mana Spell Shield Overwhelm Challenger. And while it doesn't have a ton of attack and it also doesn't have Faded, it doesn't matter. You're running a deck full of self buffs anyway. You could easily drop a couple gems on this and make it like a 7/4 Spell Shield Challenger Overwhelm, and that's great. Even its base stat totals aren't bad. With 4 health, it's a little low. It's a little low on the health side, but like I said, you're running self buffs. Have a level up Taric. Make it indestructible every turn, and that's that. The Saga Seeker is great just because it's a 1 mana 1/2 faded. I think that's amazing. It's what the deck's going to need. You're going to have to run 3 of this in a Pantheon deck just for your early game drops. I like the Blinded Mystic as a 3 of. No, but I'd run 2. I would possibly, depending on the meta, run this over a 3 of Hush. Just because I think that the buff it gives is worth it. And the Wounded White Flame is just spectacularly amazing. Having the lower attack and the higher health is an amazing trade-off. You don't care about this being a 2 attack. You just want it to be strong, high enough health to survive the first hit. Because if it survives and kills something on a swing or on a block, this thing's going to get buffed to high heaven. And the We Stand Together is just great. I don't like the against the odds. I want to be optimistic. I want to say that it's good, but I don't like this card. I think that 9 out of 10 times it's going to be 3 mana for like +2/+2. Which is fine. At focus speed is fine. But because if it was a burst speed card, if it was burst speed, maybe I could see a niche on running it. But this, while not going super wide, I see this deck going pretty wide itself. I just don't see, unless you're on a really, really bad position in a game, I don't see when this would ever be worth it. And because it's focus speed, you can't do it in response to a combat. It's way too limited. If it was burst speed, maybe there'd be an argument for it. But as focus speed, only being used pre-combat, I don't see it. And the Freed Colossus, I think, is pretty good. Again, the higher health matters more. It's a big billy goat at the end of the day. And I don't think that that's a bad thing in a deck like this. And as for this 3-drop, who I can't pronounce the name of, the burst speed, just by playing a unit, you give something Spell Shield and Overwhelm, is great. A lot of these creatures already have, like, Overwhelm already. Spell Shield and Overwhelm already. But just burst speed, playing a 3-mana 3/3 that gives something Spell Shield for a round, is not bad at all. Plus, it targets an ally, which gives you your Pantheon level up condition. No, I love this. This is great. This is amazing. I am going to start theory crafting a couple of decks for both Kennen and Pantheon here, and I'm going to make a few videos, I think, showcasing them, so look forward to those. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this. They did my boy good. Pantheon looks amazing. I think he's actually really nuts. I think he's Arsenal 2.0, and that he's going to be amazing. I will reserve judgment until the rest of the cards are announced, but I do believe day one, Pantheon is the deck I'm going to build. Just saying it now. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I will catch you next time.